season. Last year, San Diego swept Atlanta in the wild card series, lost in 5 to the Dodgers in the division series. The Cubs in search of their first postseason win since 2017. The San Diego starting lineup, 18th in baseball runs per game, but they are pretty well healthy, though, without Ramon Laureano, a key bat. Fernando Tatis Jr. leads it off. Jackson Merrill has gotten hot, the 22-year-old center fielder in the middle. And Ryan O'Hearn, a trade deadline acquisition, provides some left-handed punch. There are 5 left-handed hitters in Mike Schultz's lineup against one of the best left-handed pitchers in the National League. And Ben, that is the all-star Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, having a career year in his 11th big league season. Career high 14 wins, career best 3.21 ERA. And he loves the friendly confines. How about at home here at Wrigley Field? 15 starts, 12-1 with a 2.51 ERA. Now, KB, his last 9 starts, man, he's not been quite as good. He got out of the gates quickly, but over his last 9 starts, a 5.51 ERA. So we'll see where he's at.
Matthew Boyd's 4th postseason start, 5th postseason game, 12 innings, no earned. His postseason debut as a Cub begins with a fastball fouled away by Fernando Tatis Jr. And at 2:08 local, we are underway on this spectacular, sunny, just about cloudless Tuesday afternoon from Wrigley Field. Tatis, Luis Arraez, and Manny Machado, the San Diego team, which hit the 3rd fewest home runs in baseball in the regular season, but Fernando Tatis Jr. hit 25 of those, and he is coming off a monstrous postseason a year ago. Tatis chases the changeup, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, what makes this Padre offense tough, though, is they don't strike out very much at all. They got the 3rd fewest strikeouts in baseball, so they will work the count. They'll work the pitch count on the pitcher as well and try to get that pitch count up.
Big contact team, and that's, I think, the biggest thing is they sacrifice some of that slug throughout their lineup to be able to put the ball in play.
We talked to Mike Schultz before the game. He said, look, we've been playing a postseason style of baseball all year.
Yeah.
We are not afraid to bunt, to move runners over. And though you often hear about teams slugging their way through the postseason, the Padres feel like they've simulated what they can do and play to their strengths for 162. On 3-2, Tatis grounds the ball to Dansby Swanson. Former Gold Glover at short. Cleans it up for the leadoff out of the postseason.
Well, Dansby Swanson, man, a 2-time Gold Glover. He can do it over at the shortstop position, and he just solid as they come. Been around for a while.
You mentioned Pete Crow Armstrong in the open jest. This is one of the strengths of the Cubs team. Defensively, they are as good as anybody. So a very contact-oriented team in San Diego, as you mentioned, and Luis Arraez, the most contact-oriented guy in baseball. You can't turn a lot of balls in play to hits, though, against the Cubs.
No, I mean, we talk about Dansby Swanson, talked about Pete Crow Armstrong, Nico Horner at second base. I mean, that's a shortstop playing second.
Arraez with a ground ball foul. It's 1-1.
Seiya Suzuki up right and Ian Happ in left. I mean, some of the best 3 you're going to see out there covering ground.
But I'm going to tell you what, as a pitcher being on the bump, when you got that kind of defense behind you, wind blowing slightly in here at Wrigley Field, it just makes you want to be a little bit more aggressive in the strike zone, too.
Arraez fouls a fastball out of play. 94 from Matthew Boyd, who is throwing harder than ever in this his 11th big league year. It's been a renaissance season for the former 6th rounder out of Oregon State all the way back in 2013.
How about 17 quality starts in 31? That's a good number.
Arraez into left field, the first sun ball of the game, handled neatly by Ian Happ. Well, Matthew Boyd was great in the first half, not as airtight down the stretch, partly maybe because of fatigue. More innings pitched this season than in his previous 3 combined.
Yeah, he only threw, what, 124 innings combined in 22, 23, and 24. You see where the number is now, over 180 for the season. So, yeah, absolutely that could have had something to do with not being quite as sharp in the second half.
2 down, Manny Machado. And Machado knocks the first pitch fastball out of play.
But this is also the time of the year you get a little bit extra adrenaline flow too. And if you are a little bit fatigued, it seems to go away during the postseason.
A man with all kinds of October experience, Machado. Rockets the ball to third. It's picked cleanly by the rookie Matt Shaw. Left side of the infield, rock solid. In a 1-2-3 for Matthew Boyd. It'll be Bush, Horner, and Happ when we come back.
Talked about the D. Didn't even get to Matt Shaw over at third base. Great reacts and a line drive to get the last out.
In baseball this year, the Chicago Cubs nearly 5 runs a game with all-stars and big bats all over. Wondering how healthy Kyle Tucker will be in the middle of that lineup. It is a perilous 1 through 9 for any pitcher to deal with, and the man who has to deal with it today, Nick Pivetta, the game 1 assignment for San Diego, as he'll take on Michael Bush to start.
Pivetta, 32 years old, and he too having a career year.
Fly to center from Bush, driving Jackson Merrill to the wall. That is a well-struck ball, but well-struck balls at Wrigley Field the last couple of years do not go terribly far most of the time. A long fly out in what has become this windy pitcher's haven the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, when it's pushing in, and it's slightly pushing in today, and that definitely kept that ball in the ballpark. You talk about Pivetta, career high in wins, ERA, innings pitched, strikeouts, and opponent's batting average as well.
Strike one to Nico Horner, 95 from Pivetta, who's got a good hard fastball and a terrific curveball. He showcases to lefties, a great sweeper to righties as well. Horner, one of the best all-around second baseman in baseball, takes a little low for ball 1.
Yeah, Pivetta going to be heavy on that 4-seam fastball. He'll throw you an occasional 2-seamer, but it's 46% 4-seamers, and he likes it at the top of the zone. He's got a little spin rate with it as well. But think about this: 110 of his 190 strikeouts have been on the fastball.
Horner slaps the ball through the right side. He's got the first hit of this wild card series, appropriately so for the Cubs hits leader.
A whole lot of fastballs. Well, that's exactly what the Chicago Cubs like to hit. This is Nico Horner in a nutshell, too. When you think about how he's able to get his hits, he's not a big slug, even though there's a lot of slug in this lineup. Just pokes it through the right side for a hit.
Well, we talked about the Padres. They don't strike out much, but the Cubs, only the 6th fewest strikeouts in baseball. So both of these teams going to put the ball in play. Cubs doing a little bit more with the power.
Ball 1 to Ian Happ as we check in downstairs with Jesse Rogers.
Yeah, guys, Elias Diaz, the regular catcher for Nick Pivetta, not on the playoff roster due to an oblique injury. So Freddie Fermain is catching him for the first time. Now, the 3 of them, Pivetta, Diaz, and Fermain, sat with each other for the last 24 hours. Really went over the game plan. But talking to the Padres people, the problem is if Pivetta gets off a little bit, can Fermain bring him back in rhythm in time the way that Diaz could? It's an issue. Now, how big of an issue it is remains to be seen. But, Ben, I'm sure you've gone through that as well. A guy catching you for the first time. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's a comfort factor. And when I've had a guy all year long and all of a sudden a different face shows up behind home plate, it can be difficult for sure. But Nick Pivetta's been around. Look, this is his 9th big league season. He is making, what, his 210th career start. So he's been around a little bit, too. But still, the comfort factor is going a little bit for Nick Pivetta.
Diaz, who hurt his oblique Saturday, not on the postseason roster. Happ takes fastball right at the top of the zone. Eric Backus has strike 2. Diaz caught every inning but 1 for Pivetta this season, and it's for me and another trade deadline pickup from Kansas City. One of the biggest starts of his life. Right over the inside corner, Pivetta runs the fastball for strike 3, and he freezes the switch hitting Happ.
Best pitch in baseball right there. A lot of hitters are going to sit back and look all speed with 2 strikes. And Pivetta just takes that 4-seam fastball and just rips it right to the inside part of the plate. And nothing Ian Happ can do but take a look at that one. That's how you finish right there. You can't throw a 4-seamer on the inside part any better than that right there.
Now Tucker with a first pitch pop-up that will get out of play. This is one of the big question marks coming into the series. Jess, we've seen not many better all-around players in baseball in the last few years than Kyle Tucker, but only 3 games back from a calf strain, still not healthy enough to play the field.
Biggest question mark in this lineup. Kyle Tucker, he's DHing in this one, but is the bat there? He's gotten a few at bats before heading into the postseason, but the timing isn't there yet. That left calf strain, which kept him out quite a bit. Still having a hard time, not 100%. Just kind of removing that from your mind. I mean, Ben, you talked about adrenaline for the pitchers. It kicks in for an injured player, and you're definitely able to ignore a whole lot more of that. Kyle Tucker, they're going to need him if they want to advance in this postseason.
I'm sure they would have loved to send Tucker on a rehab assignment, let him get some at-bats on his belt, but it just wasn't the right time of the year to do so. So, yeah, he's got to kind of feel his way.
Good news is Kyle Tucker has dealt with this before a couple of seasons ago. After a late injury, had a great postseason run for Houston. He is in his 65th playoff game. Just a .229 hitter, .309 on base all time in the playoffs. And Tucker strikes out here, 96 above the zone. 2 Ks for Pivetta and a scoreless first. This presentation of the MLB
opportunity, knowing everything about like grandfather growing up here, being a Cub. It's cool. And yeah, I think 2016 was one of the happiest days of his life. I get to be a Cub now. It's pretty cool.
Matthew Boyd yesterday, after learning he was the Game 1 starter, thinking about his grandfather John Boyd, who grew up in Chicago, grew up a Cubs fan. And for Matthew Boyd, a 12-1 record at home, a Game 1 start in Chicago. He's got a little flare to right field that will land for Jackson Merrill on his way to second. Merrill with a hustle double, trying to spoil this emotional Game 1 for Boyd. He's got the Padres' first hit.
Look where this pitch is located too. And this is so part of the Padres and what they can do. And this is a slider in off the plate. But when you have a swing that's just trying to put the ball in play, this is what Jackson Merrill. But watch him out of the box. As soon as he recognizes this ball's going to drop in, he's not thinking base hit, immediately thinking 2. What would have been a single for most turns into a double for Merrill.
Merrill had himself a wonderful month, the month of September, man. 7 long balls in the month of September, by far his best month.
Well, now let's see if the Padres can do what they tend to do. Advance runners from second. And do so with a little small ball. Xander Bogaerts not looking to bunt. But the experienced shortstop try to at least get Merrill to third with 1 out. 52nd career postseason game for Bogaerts, a 2-time World Series champion with Boston, who takes a 2-seamer for a strike. He's just back from a foot fracture. Came back Tuesday after missing a month. He fouled the ball off his left foot August 27th in Seattle. As an insert in his shoe and a foot guard while batting.
Well, and playing shortstop. I mean, that's where it's going to be able to threaten him the most. Is he talked about before the game, you know, feeling good in the cage, feeling good when he's swinging the bat, even running the bases, but that lateral movement that he has to do defensively. I mean, that's the biggest ask when you have a fracture in your foot.
Boyd in search of a strikeout, 1 and 2. There is a slider instead. Would have been Cade Horton for Chicago today. The rookie was spectacular down the stretch. A rib fracture took him out of the equation. He's on the IL. Boyd is the guy. As Bogaerts pops up a ball to right and out of reach of Suzuki.
Yeah, don't sleep on Boyd, though. He's faced the Padres twice this year, and he's had good luck against them. Now, it was early. It was early in the year, right around middle of April. But he only gave up 2 earned runs in his 2 starts against the Padres.
That's an unusual matchup. These teams haven't played since the middle of April. They played a couple of series in about a 2-week span. Bogaerts to left center field. That ball is blistered by Xander Bogaerts. 1 hop off the ivy. Forget moving the guy up on a routine grounder. Bogaerts scores Merrill on a double and takes third on the wayward throw. San Diego strikes first in the wild card, and Xander Bogaerts, back from a fractured foot, is right back in the swing of things.
Boy, I tell you what, The Padres, man, I know their offense hasn't been great all year long, but you look at what they did in the month of September. Nearly 5 runs per game, and this is a mistake right here. Just a heater right in the heart of the plate. And this is how you put barrel on ball. And as you said, KB, forget about trying to move that runner up. I'm going to move him up, all right. I'm going to move him all the way to home plate, and Bogaerts does that. A bullet out to left center field. Pete Crow Armstrong quickly gets it in. Then you got a short hop over at the shortstop position. Ball gets away, and Bogaerts takes an extra 90.
An RBI double for Bogaerts. Crow Armstrong with a rare error, and the infield pitched in for Ryan O'Hearn, who slashes one foul. PCA only 2 errors in the regular season, with a costly mistake here in the second inning of the postseason.
That ball was smoked. Under 9 miles an hour for Bogaerts.
Elevated heater, man, and he can turn around some fastballs, and he did.
Now a ground ball to short. Dansby Swanson makes a diving play to rob O'Hearn of a hit and rob San Diego of a run.
It's going to be the theme. We've talked about it with the rare air for Pete Crow Armstrong, but Dansby Swanson up the middle to be able to have the reaction. This is 102 off the bat. This is not just your basic ground ball to shortstop. Dives to save the run, also gets the out.
I've been wondering why Bogaerts didn't take off. I mean, most teams with 1 out, runner on third base, it's moving on contact. And if Bogaerts is moving on contact right there, because Dansby Swanson had to go to the back end and slide, Bogaerts scores, but he was just locked up at third base.
How critical could that play be in a series where you have 2 lockdown bullpens ready to fire at any point? It's up to Gavin Sheets now, the first-year Padre. A wonderful addition from the White Sox. Sheets with a pop-up, shallow left. Swanson and Shaw, and it's the third baseman Shaw for out number 2. So Matthew Boyd is 1 out away from limiting the damage, and this is a part of the Padres lineup where he could have the upper hand. 3 lefties in a row, 6, 7, and 8. Now O'Hearn and Cronenworth, the batter right now, have been all right against lefties this year, but still San Diego with 5 lefties in the lineup. Mike Schilt not afraid to stack up 3 in a row, even though he has an entirely right-handed bench.
What's very odd about Matthew Boyd, you look at the opponent's batting average, outstanding on the year, but look at runners in scoring position. He's trying to navigate and do something he hadn't been very good at this year. Opponent's hitting 361 runners in scoring position on Matthew Boyd, but 1 run was in, runner at third base, nobody out. If he can navigate this and just hold them just to 1 run, that's going to be a win for Matthew Boyd.
Very patient Cronenworth on an 0-1 count. Swings away, hits a tapper to Swanson. Padres get 1 and only 1. They leave Bogaerts at third with nobody out, but 2 open the scoring in Chicago. A little bit in the tank in the second half. Bush, Tucker, PCA, Suzuki, Swanson, all well down after the break. The young Matt Shaw, one of the few hitters who actually improved after the All-Star break. Regression to the mean or something more? That's the question. Seiya Suzuki did really get going down the stretch, homering in 4 straight games to close the regular season. What do you make of this Cubs offense as a whole?
Well, I mean, that was one thing Craig Counsell talked about, actually, was Seiya Suzuki being the one that they really needed to get back. And we saw a lot of the regression come right after the All-Star break. But when you look at a lot of these bats, Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, I mean, a lot of them are coming back the last few weeks of the season. But for Suzuki, he needed to have what he did to end the season. I mean, you're talking 5 home runs in the last 4 games to put that exclamation point.
The Cubs did a good job of nickel and diming it. The offense was great the first half. The pitching was pretty good. Well, when the offense faltered a little bit in the second half, the pitching actually elevated a little bit, and that's why the reason. I mean, think about this. There's only 2 teams in baseball this year out of 30 that did not have a losing month of the season. Only 2 teams. Both of them resided in the National League Central. The Milwaukee Brewers did not have a losing month, and the Chicago Cubs did not have a losing month either. Only 2 teams. So even through a little bit of offensive struggles, they still stayed very, very consistent throughout.
That led to 92-70 for Craig Counsell in his second year here. Nick Pavetta's 1-2, ripped to the screen by Suzuki.
This is a first half team, you guys, that was #1 in baseball in runs scored per game. I mean, all the offensive categories, they were best team in the National League. Was that the offense that this team is? Probably not. More top 5. So I think more regression to the mean the second half.
You know what all those numbers mean about right now?
Nothing.
Not a thing. We're going to give you a bunch of numbers throughout the day, but they don't mean anything right now.
Shallow center field. Merrill got a good jump. And the former infielder Jackson Merrill, who's gotten way better at center field, makes a fine catch.
Look how far he's got to come for this, too. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You got the sun, you got all the factors. I mean, he came a long way to finish this off. Suzuki getting a curveball below the zone to even plop this down there.
Well, Jackson Merrill had himself a year last year, didn't he? Was an all-star, finished second in the Rookie of the Year, was Silver Slugger, and an outstanding defender as well.
Lifelong shortstop who's been playing center field in the bigs for 2 years and has been playing it very well this year at age 22.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he's just 22 years old.
Carson Kelly getting his first taste of the postseason, the 31-year-old catcher. Has been one of the great under-the-radar stories for the Cubs. Kelly, who was released by the Diamondbacks 2 years ago. They would make the World Series. Traded from the Tigers to the Rangers last year. The Tigers made the division series. And at age 31, he finally gets a taste of the postseason, and he's been terrific for Chicago this year.
Nick Pivetta kind of staring in at Eric Bacchus behind home plate. He thought he might have had a strike. Pivetta's got a good fastball today, though. You see, it's pretty much sitting 95, 96. And with his extension, guys, look, he's got some extension, too. 6 feet 9 inches, he lets it go towards home plate. The average big league pitcher lets it go about 6 feet 4 inches from the rubber toward home plate. So he's got an extra 6 inches. So that 96 is probably playing a little bit more like 98.
3-1 to Kelly. 96 again.
And the analytical numbers favor Pivetta. High spin rate fastball, about 100 RPMs better than most. Boy, you get to the breaking ball, he spins a breaking ball 2,800 RPMs. Big league average on a breaking ball about 2550 to kind of give you an idea. So that breaking ball has a little more depth to it, spins a little bit faster than most.
Kelly with a foul tip strikeout, another fastball, and Nick Pivetta is letting it eat today. He struck out 3 of the last 4.
He is just letting it rip at the top of the zone. And again, his four-seam fastball, folks, for 2 reasons. 1, it plays better at the top of the zone. 2, he's eventually going to get to that curveball. That curveball will come out of that same window. A high fastball will eventually set up a good overhand breaking ball right out of the top window. But right now, he's established his fastball early.
One nearly established a dent in the elbow of Pete Crow Armstrong. A PCA chance begin at the postseason. This 23-year-old who has just lit this city on fire and really did so with the first half ahead of the MVP conversation for a few months until his offense fell off.
That's what you're going to see a whole lot from him. He loves to swing the bat. Super aggressive hitter, and this is part of his game. I mean, he will chase. He'll go upstairs and try to get that fastball.
He will chase, but he will pull the ball. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. One of the most extreme pull hitters in baseball as he misses another high hitter.
He keeps going after that one. It's going to be a short day for him. Because 96 above the top of the zone off of Pivetta. Going to be tough to navigate that. But Pete Crow Armstrong, man, what a year he has had. When you start doing things never done in Cubs history before, and that's what he did this year. You talk about 30 homers, 30 stolen bases, and 30 doubles. First Cub ever to do that.
Chases again.
I love it. He gets it. He fouls it off. 2 straight swing and misses. Makes the adjustment. It's a subtle adjustment. Chokes a little bit on the bat, but he's not going to change his game plan, and that's an aggressive hitter.
And that's 3 in a row up there. So if Pivetta's got any kind of breaking ball right now, he can start the curveball in the same window and have it drop below the zone.
Only thrown one breaking ball in the inning, and there's number 2.
Yeah.
Right on cue, he hooks him, and Pivetta strikes out 2 in a perfect second.
Well, you get a guy chasing heaters up, and you got a curveball like Pivetta got, so I'll tell you what, it's going to be really, really tough. 3 heaters up, and then Uncle Charlie on the pass list tonight. He just buries a breaking ball.
Back to Wrigley Field. Let's get downstairs to Jesse.
First 2 hard with Mike Shelton. What have you seen out of Pivetta after those first 2 hard hit balls in the first?
Yeah, set on the end. I mean, we've got a lot of life to his ball today. It's moving. It's, you know, last couple, that inning just exploding at the top of the zone. Breaking balls looking good. He looks like he's in control.
Xander Bogaerts hit a mistake pitch to drive in a run. But I wonder if the Jackson Merrill at bat was just as impressive, pulling his hands in, laying out a double.
Yeah, just a nice piece of hitting by Jackson. Bogey with a great approach. Really trying to take him to the middle, move him over. Got a ball he can do some damage on, and, you know, away with the lead.
I'll great for you for the wind blowing in on that leadoff fly ball by Michael Busch.
Yeah, blowing in now. We'll see you later.
All right, Mike, thanks.
Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it.
Back to you, Kevin.
Jesse, thank you. Mike Schilt, second season as Padres manager, second year taking San Diego to the postseason. What do you make of their approach so far, Jess, against Matthew Boyd?
They're being aggressive early, and again, this is more of a contact hitting team, so they're late a little bit on the fastball, but they're ready more for the changeup and the slider. So you know that's what's coming off of it. Matthew Boyd got 2 fastball pitching, strike throwing pitchers, attacking very quick.
That changeup so often a 2-strike weapon as he's ahead of Freddie Fermin. Elevates a changeup there. Again, Fermin has been the Padres' regular starter since the deadline, but Elias Diaz is Nick Pivetta's catcher. He's got every inning but 1. So far, Ben looks to be pretty good for Freddie Fermin.
Yeah, he looks pretty comfortable back there. You know, the key for Boyd and a lot of pitchers is shoving that 4-seamer up in the zone and shoving it to the inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters, just to speed those bats up enough to get to really what's been his best pitch in that changeup. I mean, opponents hitting just 205 off the changeup by Boyd so far this year.
Well, Boyd so far has been in now 4 2-strike counts. He's looking for his first punch out. This is what San Diego does. They will try to grind you down. 3rd lowest strikeout rate in baseball, despite the lack of home runs. And a chopper to second, gobbled up by Nico. Don't forget the wild card round rolls on tonight with 2 more games in our opening day quadruple header. The rivalry renewed in the Bronx. The Red Sox and the Yankees. Garrett Crochet, Max Fried. Is that any good? 6 Eastern on ESPN, followed by the Reds and the Dodgers. Cincinnati sneaking in under Terry Francona. And they'll face the defending champion Dodgers, who have struggled through about 800,000 injuries this year. Still won the National League West over these Padres by 3 games. There's a ground ball to short from Tatis on the first pitch.
I don't think Tatis has seen a strike. He's chased everything. 2 ground outs to shortstop. That first pitch you just saw, changeup way off the plate. He's kind of gone more into that aggressive mode.
And it's been a year for him. Look, it's like a career high walks for Tatis. He walked 89 times this year, which is about 30 more than he had in any other season, but super aggressive so far today.
And Mike Schilt told us before the game, Tatis has taken the next step because he's dominating the strike zone. He's a little jumpy early against Boyd. He's 0 for 2.
You get that, right? I mean, first game, postseason play. Everybody's heartbeat a little bit higher than what it typically is.
Well, we just saw a Blue Moon event, folks.
Swing and miss.
A Luis Ariz swing and miss. Whatever happens for the next month will not be as unlikely as that. The best whiff rate in baseball. No way he'd swing and miss again, right? Oh, my goodness. Give Matthew Boyd a full postseason MVP right now. Make up a new award for him.
I always like to say, spin them if you got them. And I'm telling you what, Matthew Boyd is spinning that breaking ball today. Watch this. Drops down a little bit and says, see if you can get him.
Jesse Rogers.
All right, with Craig Counsell, what did you like about Boyd after he gave up the run, had a runner on third, less than 2 outs?
Yeah, I mean, that's a run-scoring situation, obviously, and to keep that run off the board is a big deal. He made some pitches. We made a great defensive play, so job well done.
Talk to me about your offense. Pivetta looks a little bit locked in after those first 2 hitters. What are you seeing?
Well, it's, Nick Pivetta, it's the high fastball. He's trying to clip the top of the strike zone with the fastball, and he's doing a good job of it.
Thanks, Craig. Back to you, Kevin.
Jesse, thank you. Craig Counsell came over from the Brewers last season. It's only mildly ignited. The Cubs rivalry, not a big deal at all. Milwaukee wins the division for a second straight year, but the Cubs made big progress, Jess, in year 2 under Craig Counsell.
Oh, well, talking to him before the game, his mindset, obviously, as a player, as a well-known manager, but what he brings to this team and really exuding confidence in what he's doing. There's a lot of analytics, but there's also a lot of understanding the human. Craig Counsell, one of the best at knowing his players, how to get to them, how to get them to understand and buy into what the Cubs organization is doing.
Anthony Swanson up in the air to center field. Jackson Merrill will retrieve it. And one of the things Craig Counsell talked to us about is embracing Wrigley. That's been a big part of the messaging. He said last year it really took me a full season to understand how this park plays. It is not the unpredictable park you think it is. The wind typically blows in here well more than half of the time. So you see what the Cubs did this year. The home runs were down at home. They didn't care. 39 more steals at home. They know how to adapt to the elements.
They also have the athletes to do it. They've got players, and they've done a good job within this organization of finding the players. See Matt Shaw even square around a bunt. They do a lot of variation of how they use speed, how they'll use short game, how they'll use the slug when they're away from this ballpark. Or they know days that the wind is not blowing in.
You can only take what the game gives you. And on days in Wrigley Field when the wind blows in hard, you got to be able to adapt. That's the thing. This team, to me, it's a rare combination of power and speed and the ability to beat you a lot of different ways. They can beat you with the long ball, as you mentioned, Jess. They can beat you with the slug, but also they can steal bases, man. 3rd most stolen bases in baseball this year.
Jesse, what you got?
Yeah, guys, to your point, this is the 50th game of now 82 where the wind has blown in. It has not been hitter-friendly over really the last 2 years. You could ask Cody Bellinger that. Kyle Tucker's probably lost 4 or 5 home runs. And when you add a cloudless day like today, it's a place volatile. Both teams talked about that yesterday. It's not an easy place to hit or even play defense on certain days.
And ironically, both starting pitchers like to elevate the fastball. A lot of fly balls. This is the ballpark to do it in.
This season, Wrigley Field is one of the most pitcher-friendly parks in baseball. And it's a 1-0 game here with 2 really good bullpens ready to go. Who knows how many more we'll see. 2-2 for the rookie Shaw. And Pivetta blows him away with a fastball off the plate. 1 time through the order, and Nick Pivetta has struck out 5.
I'm telling you what, the 4-seam fastball is no joke today. Look where the catcher from Mean sets up right on the outside part. That's just dotting the eye and a perfect pitch. 5th strikeout of the day for Nick Pivetta. And again, this is a team in the Chicago Cubs. Typically, they do not strike out very much. Only the 6th most strikeouts in baseball coming in.
4 of those 5 strikeouts have been on the fastball. And the closer and closer this game gets to the 5th or the 6th with San Diego leading, that's when the super bullpen really comes into the picture. Michael Busch goes after a high heater, a little less velocity, but still effective.
Yeah, took something off of that. More 92. We've seen him sit 95 pretty consistently at the top of the zone.
That almost looked like the cutter, though. That ball had a little bit of right to left in it. Now, the cutter typically is at 90 miles an hour. That was at 92.
Ball in.
Yeah, that may have been a pitch that slipped past the pitch tracks because how hard Pivetta's throwing it today. A couple of miles up from his
Yeah, if you
average.
go back and look at it, it had a tiny bit of right to left in it, which tells me it was probably the cutter.
Busch had a long fly out his first time. And Busch pops this ball up, a high heater again. Pivetta has been living life at the top of the zone, and he's through 3 scoreless innings in Wrigley Field. A 1-0 Padres lead in the opener. The MLB Wild Card Series will continue after the... Your team, your players, your postseason. Follow all the postseason action on the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Back to Wrigley Field. Kevin Brown, Jessica Mendoza, Ben McDonald up here in the booth. Jesse Rogers down below. Our wonderful ESPN on ABC crew. It's game one of the best of 3 wild card series. San Diego and Chicago, the top and second wild cards of the National League. Padres have the lead. Jackson Merrill doubled. Xander Bogaerts doubled him in off of Matthew Boyd in the second. Those two are the next two up after Manny Machado. Boyd has settled in nicely after that, allowing just a couple of hits. He struck out 1. He has not walked a batter in his Cubs postseason debut.
Boy, the second inning was a huge inning for Matthew Boyd. 1 run was in, runner at third, and nobody out, and he found a way to only give up 1. And as a starting pitcher, especially early in the ball game, it's okay to bend a little bit. You just don't want to break. Stay away from the crooked numbers if you can.
Did Machado have any intent on actually laying out a bunt? Or he just messing with the pitcher?
You think?
There's no way.
Well, he's got pretty good numbers off the Boyd for his career. He's 5 for 13 coming in. Not a whole lot of damage. No homers. Only 1 RBI.
I mean, it would have been a hit all day long, but that's a win for Chicago.
And Machado will take his walk. So the leadoff man is on for a second time for San Diego. The first walk of the game. 14-year big leaguer Manny Machado. Padres just 1-9 this year in road series against eventual playoff teams. There's a bunt laid down by Jackson Merrill. San Diego's small ball is in full effect. Merrill, their franchise center fielder. Unselfish play is second sacrifice bunt of the year.
Padres lead the big leagues in sacrifice bunts. This has been a part of their game the entire season. Here in the postseason, you don't expect it to change very much, regardless of the batter that's up.
It's about knowing who you are and what you do the best. And we talked about the Padres. They don't hit many home runs. I mean, 28th out of 30 teams in home runs. 18th overall in offense, but they know how to move runners.
And I know that a lot of folks at home are probably cringing seeing the cleanup hitter bunt in the 4th inning, and I get it. I worked on the StatCast games. I understand if your mind goes there. That's just not the way San Diego plays, and Mike Schilt talked about that before the game. Bogaerts grounds the ball just foul outside of third. Mike Schilt said probably more than half of the sac bunts we lay down, I don't call.
Yeah.
His team has the freedom to execute if they feel like it's the right time.
It's a big part of their game, and honestly, he put up the example of a batter and field. I mean, you mentioned, yeah, good numbers, but I think for Jackson Merrill, left on left, it might be his decision to be like, I'd rather lay something down, move the runner.
HWA, how to win awareness, and the Padres have that. It's a veteran team. They know how to win. They know what it takes to win ball games.
I'm just glad it took us to the 4th for your first HWA.
HWA, such a big part. How do you win a ball game? And when you got the bullpen that the Padres have, it's about taking a 2-run lead into the 5th or 6th inning. And a lot of times you'll see them when they're up like they are right now, 1-0. They're playing for 1 more run right here.
Because Robert Suarez, Mason Miller, Jeremiah Estrada, Adrian Morejon, that's as good a big 4 as any bullpen in baseball. So this is the regular season. Yeah, maybe you think differently.
My bet would be if they didn't have the bullpen they did, they probably don't bunt as much, right? But because they got a lockdown bullpen, that's how they play the game.
Well, check swing from Bogaerts. A charging Shaw steps in front of Swanson and does not have a play. Bogaerts moving well, just back from the foot fracture as an infield single. He's 2 for 2, and the Padres have the Cubs cornered.
Xander Bogaerts, I'm telling you what, a career-high stolen bases this year. I know he's had a foot injury, but 20 stolen bases. He gets out of the box. And when this ball gets by Boyd right there, it's a foot race right there. You see Shaw coming over doing all he can do. But to answer your question, is Bogaerts healthy? The way he got down the line right here, I would say the foot's not bothering him right now.
So 1st and 3rd, 1 away. Here's Ryan O'Hearn. Slow curveball for Boyd for strike 1.
Boy, and Boyd, if you'll watch him, man, against the lefties every now and then, he'll drop down a little bit lower on that arm slot. It almost feels like if you're batting left-handed, the ball's starting at you. Show you a couple different looks.
2 for O'Hearn. Ryan O'Hearn, an all-star starter for the American League this year, was a bench piece for the Kansas City Royals, toiling in obscurity, who ended up an Oriole, ended up a star, a couple of postseason teams in Baltimore, and he is back in the postseason now after a trade to San Diego. And O'Hearn takes a slider for ball 1.
Well, if you're on the mound in these situations, man, you always think ground ball. Try to create a ground ball to turn 2. But then once you get 2 strikes where Boyd is now, he's thinking about one thing, the strikeout. Only 1 strikeout so far today.
Machado and Bogarts the runners on 1-2. Well, this is the lefty pack in the Padre lineup. Ryan O'Hearn, playing time was a little spotty when he first came to San Diego, even though they gave up a lot to get him, but he's played a lot more down the stretch, and he has played and hit brilliantly against lefties, something he hadn't done most of his career. This ball fisted to shallow center. Swanson makes the catch and throws a lob in plenty of time to the plate to hold Machado. Dansby Swanson robs Ryan O'Hearn for a second time with a runner at third.
Athletes. I mean, that's what Chicago's got so many of defensively. And to me, it's about the drop step. Watch the drop step to create the angle to be able to get this. Look like an outfielder. A lot of infielders can't make this drop step to catch the ball out in the grass the way Dansby Swanson does this. And watch the ball tail towards the line, and he reacts to stay with it. We're going to see a whole lot of defense in this series, especially from this Cubs defense.
You hit it to the 2-time Gold Glover, man. He is going to make the play more times than not.
It's a footwork that his wife Mallory would be rather appreciative of. 2 on 2 out. Gavin Sheets high in the air to right center. Suzuki and Crow Armstrong. PCA makes the catch. Matthew Boyd once again wriggles out of the straitjacket. ESPN Bet is the sports book for sports fans. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with code HOMERUN to get started today. Nick Pivetta with 5 strikeouts through 3. His second career start in the postseason. He's allowed just 1 base runner. Nico Horner hit in the first, and Nico misses a sweeper. Scary thing for the Cubs lineup right now. Pivetta has mowed down the order with 83% fastballs and just 6 breaking balls through the first 3 innings.
Your job as a starting pitcher is to figure out what's working best for you that day. And clearly, Nick Pivetta's figured out that 4-seam fastball towards the top of the zone has been money for him so far today. And as you mentioned, it is a high percentage of fastballs. Typically, he's right around 50% fastball usage. It's over 80% so far today.
This is a Cubs team that crushes fastballs. I mean, you're talking top 3 in baseball. Their average and slug against. I mean, it just shows you how much that fastball is getting the carry, not just the velocity and the swing and miss.
Yeah, he's throwing it in the perfect spot, too. He's not made hardly any mistakes so far today. It's been right at the top of the zone or just above the top of the zone.
There's another one. There's that cutter. 2-2 for Horner. He is the only ground ball of the day. 5 strikeouts for Pivetta. The other 4 outs in the air. Will they go back to the heater? 2-2. No, he lobbed up a sweeper. And another ball in the air for Luis Ariz to handle.
Well, let's take a look at Nick Pivetta today and how he has attacked these Cubs hitters. One of the best offenses in baseball, but I tell you what, to this point, he's had his way, and he has shoved that 4-seam fastball to the inside part of the plate and just above the top of the zone. That is top shelf right there. And again, that's where his fastball is going to play the best, up. And sometimes he'll throw enough fastballs up in the zone to get to that breaking ball. They come out of the same window. You see enough heaters up, he can drop that breaking ball on you. And as a pitcher, look, you'd love to save something for the second or third time through the lineup. And he got away with a lot of fastballs early. Now you see this inning already. He's starting to turn to the off-speed stuff just a little bit more.
Sweeper to a lefty, which is a pitch he almost never throws to left-handers into Ian Happ. And then another high fastball. Happ holds a swing according to Todd Tichenor at third. So for the Cubs, how do you adjust just second time through?
They got to lay off the fastball. It's up out of the zone. I mean, so far we've seen a lot of the chase, a lot of the swing and miss come on fastballs, not just at the top of the strike zone, but up out of the zone. Pavetta's fastball is already good enough. I mean, you see it swing and miss right there. If you're helping him out by swinging at the ones above that, you've got no chance.
It's just so tough for a hitter because he's had the ability so far today to pepper within the zone at the top and then go just above.
That's exactly what he tried to do in the zone, and then well above to the patient Ian Happ. Last time the Cubs were in the postseason, 2020. Last time the Cubs won in the postseason, 2017. Ian Happ was there both times. He has been around a long time. First round pick in 2015, debuted in 2017. A National League All-Star 3 years ago. 2-2. Side with a heater and Happ takes.
Great take. You're gearing up knowing fastballs coming. We just talked about 80% of the time. They know what's coming, but you got to hold on the ones that aren't a strike.
Just the second 3-ball count of the day against Nick Pivetta. And Happ knocks it to the screen. Right out of the glove of Fermin.
Not a whole lot of secrets today from Pivetta, is it? It's pretty much my best against yours. See if you can catch up to it.
A little old school, huh, Ben?
Yeah, I like it. Feel like we don't have guys that throw a ton of fastballs anymore.
And again, this is working with a catcher he hasn't worked with. Elias Diaz caught every one of Nick Pivetta's 31 starts. He's not on the roster because of an oblique issue. Pivetta and Freddie Fermin look like they've been doing it since they were kids. Seventh pitch coming to Happ. 1-0 Padres in the fourth. Happ strikes out. He tied him up with a right on left sweeper, and Pivetta has punched out 6. Well, what a Saturday ABC college football lineup we have for you, starting at noon with Kentucky in 12th ranked Georgia trying to bounce back from a loss to Alabama. A top 16 matchup with Vanderbilt. Hot Commodores at 3:30 in Tuscaloosa, then Miami and Florida State. Saturday Night Football in prime time. All begins at noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 a.m. Pacific on the ESPN app.
Big win for the Tide last weekend, huh? Yes, Georgia.
LSU Stanford probably also playing this weekend somewhere. How is Stanford football doing, by the way?
You really want to go there?
No, I actually don't know. I'm curious.
They're okay. They're all right. They're holding in there. It's early. How's Syracuse doing?
Would you like to throw some more cliches out there, Jess? Syracuse, they have a winning record. That pitch missed to Tucker.
Being called and wasn't.
Kyle Tucker.
Look at Pivetta. He's like, seriously? And that's the thing about a high spin rate fastball. It works at the top of the zone. It works at the bottom of the zone, because hitters expect that ball at the bottom of the knees to kind of fall below, but that ball's got a little carry to it, so it kind of stays on line.
Well, and also Tucker crushes fastballs down in the zone, so in a way, Kyle Tucker's, it's a miss on him.
First-year Cub, an off-season blockbuster deal with Houston. He will be a free agent after the year against Pivetta in his first year of 4 with San Diego. 1-2 coming. Tucker doesn't chase. Last time Nick Pivetta pitched at Wrigley, it's his shortest start of the year. 3 innings, 3 earned on April the 5th, which was about a half a year ago at this point. He's been brilliant today. His 2-2 is rolled over foul. Jose Javier in the coach's box. Joined the Padres on the day of their first full squad workout in Peoria. It was a very late sign in the spring. Never had a season like this. San Diego rotation that's been really battered all year. They didn't have Joe Musgrove. Darvish has been up and down and hurt. Dylan Cease erratic. Michael King a couple of injuries. Pivetta has been their rock. Tucker over to Arise at first. Plays the high hop cleanly and wins the foot race. Nick Pivetta with 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. He's retired 11 straight Cubs.
2 runs saved in this one. The diving play on the ground ball drop step taken away. Another hit, both with a runner at third base with a score to run. A lot about the Cubs defense. Dansby Swanson taking away 2 runs already in this one.
2-time Gold Glover, making his 160th start at short this year. Well, Ryan O'Hearn's going to have nightmares about Dansby Swanson. He was the batter on both of those at-bats.
Better try somebody else.
Yeah. We got a lot of other defenders out there. Matthew Boyd to Jake Cronenworth. 1-0 game.
That's the thing about the Cubs. Pretty much everybody can play defense. A lot of different ways to measure defense with the metrics. But if you look at the old school part, fielding percentage, Cubs 4th best fielding team in baseball. Meaning they just take care of the ball.
Fielding percentage 4th, outs above average they're 4th. Overall fielding run value they're just behind Toronto in 2nd. Part of the reason Matthew Boyd's had such a wonderful year, he gets to pitch in front of this wonderful defense. Cronenworth takes and the dirt. Matthew Boyd will face Cronenworth here, Freddie Fermin next, and then the dreaded 3rd time through, which should be accompanied by some very eerie music in the postseason, because many postseason games now you don't even see a starting pitcher get to face a batter the 3rd time through, and the Cubs already have a little moving and shaking in their bullpen. As Cronenworth chases a breaking ball, actually a changeup. Left on left change for Boyd's 2nd strikeout.
You won't believe where I am.
T-Mobile now has the best network. How will you use it?
Matthew Boyd, first pitch strikes to 12 of the last 13, make it 13 of 14. Dots the inside edge to Freddie Fermin.
That is a recipe for success. First pitch strikes.
Fermin golfs one into left center field. That's down for a hit out of the 9th spot. Crow Armstrong is in to throw a 1-hop dart to second. He'll hold Fermin to a single as the Padres have their 4th hit.
Pretty good move to the baseball right there by Fermin. Gets a fastball to the first pitch, and there's a good look at that circle change. Just kind of turns it over, but Fermin just kind of sinks down into his legs, finds the barrel out toward left center field.
And at just 58 pitches through 4 1/3, that is the end of the game 1 start for Matthew Boyd. Greg Counsell's going to turn it over to the bullpen and Daniel Palencia early. Matthew Boyd throws just 58 pitches, turns over the Padres lineup twice, and he leaves his Cub postseason debut down 1-0. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to face a flame-throwing Daniel Palencia, who was the Cubs closer for much of the year, and Tatis takes his first pitch out to Suzuki and right. Fernando is 0 for 3.
Yeah, Palencia's fastball going to average 100. Slider split, an occasional sinker and curveball. You see where the ERA is, 2.91. 52 2/3 he has worked so far today. Opponent's hitting just 216 off of the 4-seamer and just 143 off of that split.
Yeah, we got it.
Now this is a little bit of a gamble because Palencia missed much of September with a shoulder strain. He had an 8.03 ERA and 12 1/3 before the injury. He's only pitched twice in lower leverage spots since coming off the IL. We'll see how healthy he is and how good the command is in a 1-0 game. As he throws a slider strike to Luis Arraez.
Yeah, but when Palencia's right, man, he can let it rip. How about that? 100-mile-an-hour strikeouts. All on that 4-seamer, 27 of them, 3rd most in baseball. And you see where he likes it to be for the most part. Top of the zone.
Ball out.
There's 100 right around the corner for ball 1.
One of the guys ahead of him is in the Padres bullpen, so we're going to see some of the biggest flame-throwing bullpen arms in this game.
Mason Miller, the hardest thrower in baseball. Palencia, 5th hardest. 1-1 for Rise, who takes 99 wide. I know it's kind of the way it goes in the postseason now. 3rd time through, you take out the pitcher. What do you think of the decision by Craig Counsell?
I mean, I'm looking at Boyd's numbers, and Boyd's numbers are not like most pitchers the 3rd time through the lineup, right? His ERA pretty good.
Rise to right center field. PCA makes that play look a whole lot easier than it has any right to be. Another elite jump, and Palencia gets out of it. This presentation of the MLB Wild Card Series will continue. Because it's not hard enough to hit. With the wind blowing in, with parade of relievers throwing 100 about to come out of the bullpens. Oh, by the way, the shadows have now crept up over home plate. And this 1-0 game, Padres lead the Cubs. Game 1, best of 3 in the wild card. Nick Pivetta falls behind Seiya Suzuki 2-0. Kevin Brown with Ben McDonald, Jess Mendoza, Jesse Rogers down below in our ESPN crew. San Diego took the lead in the 2nd, and Xander Bogaerts doubled in Jackson Merrill. And Pivetta has made it stand. He's allowed just 1 base runner, a single by Nico Horner, the 2nd batter of the game.
Yes, you had to hit a few times with the pitcher in the sunlight and you standing in the batter's box in the shade. Talk to most hitters, they'll tell you that spin is just, obviously hitters hit off the spin. That's what they see. They can tell spin instantly when the ball comes out of the pitcher's hand. Do you ever have a problem with that?
When it's further out. Where it's at right now is fine.
Drilling up center field, Seiya Suzuki. He rips it through the Wrigley wind into the brilliant sunshine, and Suzuki ties the score in game 1 of the wild card series. Seiya Suzuki had homered in his last 4 games in the regular season. He adds 1 more in the playoffs.
6 home runs in 4 games, and he gets the fastball finally more down in the zone. Pivetta after the pitch said he wanted that further in. The reason why Suzuki, he's got those levers that can get close to his body to get the barrel to an inside pitch. Perfect execution there.
One of the few mistakes Nick Pivetta has made today. And this is what the Cubs do, man. 54 more home runs this year than what they hit last year.
Well, Seiya Suzuki is the 4th player in Major League history to homer his final 4 games of the regular season and then go into the postseason. The others, Mike Schmidt, George Brett, and Ryan Howard, none of them homered in their first postseason game. So welcome to Major League history, Sam. Fouled away 1 and 2 for Carson Kelly.
Well, take a look, man. That was just a beautiful swing right there. 33rd long ball of the year for Suzuki, and we are all new again.
Was just 1 for 13 against San Diego in the regular season. And you mentioned it, Jess. Craig Counsell told us before the game, if there was one hitter we needed to get going at the end of the year, this is the hitter. Kelly with a high drive to center field. Merrill is back. Sheets at the wall. And this one's gone. The Cubs smash out of their slumber with back-to-back home runs in the 5th. Suzuki and Kelly put Chicago in the lead. postseason roar we haven't heard in Wrigley for a long time now, as Carson Kelly puts the Cubs on top.
And it was against the best stuff. I mean, this is the pitch that has been getting the swing and miss, that has been getting the dominance against this lineup. The fastball up, but you now get second time through the order and the adjustments. Suzuki, now Kelly. This is above the strike zone. As soon as you meet this, you create it on out of here. Back-to-back home runs for the Cubs.
The game is about making adjustments. And Nick Pivetta dominated the Cubs through 4 innings with fastballs up in the zone. And now you can see the Cubs starting to make those adjustments, starting to get to the fastball, top shelf.
And just like that, Adrian Morejon goes in the San Diego bullpen. Cubs go back-to-back in a postseason game for the 4th time, first since 2016. And it's Carson Kelly, who grew up a Cubs fan, though he was drafted by the Cardinals. Pete Crow Armstrong a little bit wide of the tarp and foul. And we heard from Matthew Boyd earlier, whose grandfather was a Chicago fan. Carson Kelly, a Chicago native and a Cubs fan, just made another Cubs fan awfully happy. Nick Pivetta terrific for 4, trailing in the 5th. PCA tries to bunt on 0-2. Very normal stuff happening this inning.
Well, he's reading Manny Machado at third base. If you look where Manny Machado is, Manny is well overplaying the shortstop position.
Well, you know what? Maybe it was worth a shot. He strikes out swinging, and it's the 7th for Pivetta.
Good 4-seam fastball again, right at the top of the zone where Nick Pivetta has had so much success. Pete Crow Armstrong's been chasing that ball today at the top of the zone.
7 Ks for Pivetta. Here's Swanson. And a strike to start. Dansby 0-1. 223 home runs in the regular season for the Chicago Cubs, 6th in baseball. They go back-to-back here in the 5th. Suzuki who had 32. Kelly who had 17. Cubs had 8 double-digit home run hitters, 8 with 13 or more, and they are all in the lineup today. One, 2. Swanson throws it, and Pivetta is rebounded with back-to-back punch-outs.
Big-time pitch right there. Freddie Fermin had rocked to the outside part of the plate.
2 more games to go in the wild card round. It rolls on tonight over on ESPN with the Red Sox and Yankees, followed by the Reds and Dodgers. 6 Eastern, 5 Central, 3 Pacific for the first one. Reds, Dodgers 3 hours after. Available on ESPN and also on the ESPN app. Crochet Freed and Hunter Green, Blake Snell. Game 1 Reds Dodgers. Already have a Game 1 winner in Cleveland. Tarek Skubal struck out 14 in 7 2/3 Detroit, which collapsed at the end of the season. Takes Game 1 2-1 from the Guardians, so they are 1-1 away from the American League Division Series.
I guess Tarek Skubal's healthy. 14 punch-outs.
It's decent.
That'll play.
Cleveland could not beat Tarek Skubal for a 3rd straight time, and that's the American League bracket. Best of 3 wild card series. The Mariners, who were one of the hottest teams in baseball down the stretch, await the winner of that series. And then all AL East, top half of the bracket. Blue Jays won a tiebreaker with the Yankees. They'll face the Yankees or the Red Sox. 2-1 here for the rookie Shaw. Feels like, guys, as wide open a field as we've had in a long time going into the postseason.
I think so. I mean, the teams are so close. We talked about this. I mean, it's going to be who gets hot, right? What team is going to get hot in postseason play? Because all the teams I feel like that are in it have a real shot of making it to the World Series.
Oh. Well, and the team that I would have picked that didn't is the Detroit Tigers. I mean, the downfall that they had at the end of the year. They come out, talk about the numbers, the stats, wipe them all clean. They win game 1. They could get on a roll, especially behind Skubal.
Will get out of play from Shaw, still 2-2. Might be the last batter for Pivetta with Morejon ready to go. And the third time through the order coming.
Yeah, it feels like Pivetta's just empty in the tank, man. At 83 pitches right now.
The jersey's got a little darker shade of Padre Brown. He's able to pitch a breaking ball high featuring a Rafael Nadal grunt. 3-2 for Shaw, and the Wrigley faithful rises as one.
A lot of times you miss 3-2, you come back with the exact same pitch because you got a pretty good feel for it.
Pivetta strikes out the final 3, gets struck on the first 2. The Cubs were dormant for 4 innings, only 1 base runner until Seiya Suzuki's titanic line drive shot tied it. And Carson Kelly, the Chicago kid, puts the Cubs on top in the opener at Wrigley. Chicago has the lead for the first time in this game 1, best of 3 wild card series. Daniel Palencia gets the heart of the Padres order, and Manny Machado gets 99 up and in. Machado, Merrill, and Bogarts. Padres took a 1-0 lead in the second. They have stranded 4. They've left a runner at third twice.
Good luck. You're going to chase that one. Good luck. How about a Hundy up and in?
Daniel Palencia, who began the season in AAA Iowa. In fact, his season debut was in San Diego against the Padres April 15th through a scoreless 6th inning and a 2-1 Cubs win. He's pitching in the 6th inning with a 2-1 Cubs lead all these months later.
Got 2s, guys.
Not only is it 99 and 100, it's got some movement too. Some left to right in it.
Manny Machado's probably wishing he was wearing a suit of armor about now. 2-2. Gets to 99, fouls it away. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @PlayBall on X, Facebook, and Instagram. 5 straight smoke shows from Palencia. 100 again. Machado gets to it.
6 straight fastballs. 99 to 100, Ben. I mean, it's like it just takes off. You got the shadows to play with it too. I mean, look at this look. Oh, I love. Take you into your living room. Try to catch up to that.
And they're all elevated too. It's not like it's down in the zone. Little breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Well, after that many fastballs, it's really hard to make adjustment on the breaking ball. I mean, it was a steady diet of 99 to 100, top shelf, and then you bend the little breaking ball. Breaking ball actually backed up a little bit. Little backdoor breaking ball. There's a look at it. See it spinning, but instead of it going right to left, went a little bit left to right, but plays the same.
Texan Merrill one away. Drops another slider right on the corner. Padres bullpen gets all the hype, and understandably so, coming into the series. They led the majors in bullpen ERA this year, 3.03. But the Cubs down the stretch were just about as good, and the stuff they have now with Palencia, with Brad Keller, with Andrew Kittredge, and a couple others can go toe-to-toe with anyone.
is what I call some good old-fashioned country hardball right here. Here's my best. See what you can do with it. And it is a smoke show right now by Valencia. That's all he's got right down the gut, and he is fired up right now. And he is bringing the noise.
Cubs strikeout rate 4th worst in the bullpen in the first half, 4th best in the second. Almost feels like the Padres should get to use aluminum bats right now to even it out.
And you got the shadows. I mean, literally could not be in a worse position, too. Once it gets to that halfway point between the pitcher and home plate, that's when it's at its worst.
Bogarts left center field. Daniel Palencia gets 5 outs for just the 3rd time this season. Feels like he could get 5 more.
For Nick Pivetta, and how he's done it was the fastball, just getting up in the zone, swing and miss, very consistent, over 80% just on that fastball. So what do the Cubs do in the 5th inning? We're going to adjust. First of all, get the fastball a little bit more down the zone and hittable, and oh yeah, try to elevate against me again. You saw Suzuki and Carson Zelli go back-to-back on that same fastball, make those adjustments 2nd time through the order.
Good enough for a 2-1 Chicago lead. And Pivetta turns the ball to Adrian Morejon, one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball.
He has been busy, too, making his 76th appearance of the year. Sinking fastball leads the way, and it's a high velocity as well. Fastball is going to average 98. Morejon to show you a little slider, changeup, and a cutter as well.
It's maybe the only time I reference a reliever win-loss record, but it is germane to showing how many big spots Adrian Morejon pitches in. Out of the bullpen, he is 13-6.
Yeah.
This guy has a trust factor like almost nobody else in baseball, and Mike Shield would have preferred giving him the ball with the lead, obviously, but anytime he gives Adrian Morejon the ball, he feels good.
Yeah, Morejon, an all-star this year.
Face Bush, Horner, and Happ. Left-right switch for the Cubs. Like with a couple of outs in the air against Nick Pivetta. And Bush breaks his bat on a little flare to left field. That drops in front of Gavin Sheets. A little base hit for Bush in front of the deep Sheets, and the Cubs have the leadoff man on.
Well, I tell you, you got to get your foot down and go on 98 miles an hour. A little breaking ball to the outside part of the plate. Bush a little bit out in front, but he kept his hands back and just threw the head out right off the end of the bat. You could hear the bat crack and just kind of dumps it out in left center field in front of Gavin Sheets. So a good start for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Let me ask you guys this. If Ramon Laureano's healthy, is that a ball he catches in left? Or is it a little too deep?
No, I mean, look, Sheets does a nice job out in left field, in my opinion, but Ramon Laureano, I think, may be a step faster in the outfield. Probably a ball that he gets to. Maybe it's a diving catch, but it's a ball he probably gets to.
It's also just reads. I mean, it's about how he reads the ball, being so comfortable out there, and it's hard to know, but I think that's a ball that gets caught.
Laureano out with a fractured finger for at least the wild card round. They hope they can get him back at some point. They keep moving. Horner up the middle. That sneaks through Bogarts. Bush will hold at second. And against the often unhittable Adrian Morejon, the Cubs have a couple of balls placed brilliantly for 2 hits.
And it's on the non-fastballs, too. I mean, that's the biggest thing that the Cubs you'll also see do. This is the changeup down below the zone. But for Nico Warner, this is his game. I mean, he's able to hit pitches out of the zone, find a way just to get enough. I mean, look at this pitch. It's still continuing to break down below the zone. Now on a slider, then the changeup, back-to-back hits to start off this 6th inning.
Ruben Niebla coming to the mound again.
Ace has all the power you need to get the job done right. With the best power brands all under one roof, like Steel, Ego, Milwaukee, and Toro. With free assembly and delivery or ready for pickup in just 15 minutes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, Morejon's got to face at least one more batter. San Diego is going to get Mason Miller up. They're Our break glass in case of emergency right-hander here in the 6th. Jess, you mentioned the Padres. They're such a contact-oriented team, and that's their profile. The Cubs aren't that far off, and they just got a couple of hits on 0-2 counts against Morejon.
2-strike counts on good 2-strike pitches, too. That's a huge part of their game.
Ian Happ with a chance to extend the Cubs lead in the 6th. First and second, nobody out. Happ will swing away. Ground a changeup foul. This is Chicago's first plate appearance with a runner in scoring position today. Down to third, Machado snaps one to second. Cronenworth to first. It's a double play. 2 enormous outs for Adrian Morejon.
Boy, trying to create that ground ball was Morejon. First and second, nobody out. And a really good pitch at the bottom of the zone. And boy, you hit the Manny Machado, you can forget about it there. 5-4-3. That is about as routine as it gets right there.
So Kyle Tucker has a 2-out chance with Bush at third. Tucker first pitch swinging into center field. Jackson Merrill ends a scoreless 6th. The fist pump from Morejon as he keeps this a 1-run game. It's on Capital One Entertainment. Visit CapitalOne.com/entertainment. Last time Drew Pomeranz pitched to the postseason, he was with the San Diego Padres in 2020. Now he throws against him with a 2-1 7th inning lead.
Making his 58th appearance of the year. He has been really good. ERA 2.17. Yes, he can strike you out. 49 2/3, 57 strikeouts with a 41 strikeout to walk ratio, which is outstanding. Not a whole lot of secrets with Pomeranz. Fastball, knuckle curve, 2 pitches. Fastball right at big league average when you talk about velocity.
Daniel Palencia was insane. An inning and 2/3, 5 up, 5 down, 2 strikeouts on 17 pitches, throwing 101. And now the former Padre Pomeranz gets the 3 lefties, O'Hearn, Sheets, and Cronenworth. And O'Hearn puts the ball in the air to left center field. Plenty playable for Happ. Just has to fight the sun. And down to a knee, he wins the fight.
That was brutal. And impressive because he lost the ball. And you guys, a lot of times you see a guy lose the ball and they're waving around, they give up. He stays with us. Here, you see him use the glove and then it's gone. He comes back in to find it and makes the catch.
Ian Happ knows what he's doing, man.
He's got the shades on the back of his hat, too. That would have been a good time.
Yeah. 3-time Gold Glove.
Is that the world's most helpless feeling?
It's the worst, especially when it's that high, because then it's coming out and you don't know where it's coming. But when you've done enough games and you've played here enough, especially day games.
Strike 2 ripped right in there to Sheets. Gavin Sheets popped out with a runner at third, 1 out in the second. Flight out with runners at first and third, 2 out in the fourth. Padres have had 5 opportunities to score a runner from third, 3 of those with less than 2 outs, and they did not score any of the 5.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when you don't need a base hit to score a run, you got to be big in those situations. The Cubs pitching has elevated. And what was odd, we talked about Matthew Boyd, and he was really good all year long, but with runners in scoring position, his opponent's batting average 361, but yet he found a way to minimize damage.
Padres went just 2 for 7, and one of those was an infield single that didn't bring in a run. Runners in scoring position. Another 0-2. Sheets takes ball 1.
Well, when you throw one right there as a pitcher, especially with 2 strikes, you start thinking, okay, is he seeing it that good? Or did I just fool him?
Sheets hits this one pretty well to right. Suzuki will get there. UFC 320 Saturday night. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas is highlighted by 2 title fights. The light heavyweight and bantamweight belts are on the line. The prelims begin at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The main card at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific on pay-per-view. Go to ESPNplus.com/PPV. 7 up, 7 down for the Cubs relievers. San Diego with a little taste of its own medicine as Cronenworth lobs a ball into the seats. Andrew Kittredge, another deadline pickup, up for Chicago. It's been Palencia and Pomeranz. The big right-handers yet to come are Kittredge and Brad Keller. Remember, this is a best-of-3 wild card series. The ultra importance on game 1. We've seen a whole lot of sweeps in a wild card series. It's this format 2022, 10 of 12 have ended in sweeps. Cronenworth to center, lazy fly ball. Pete Armstrong and stretch time in Chicago. Cue the Eddie Vedder. Cubs by 1 in the confines. Into the wild of the 7th inning stretch with Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder.
Yes.
Leading the crowd in an inspired rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Couple of innings after Eddie's Cubs took the lead with back-to-back 5th inning blasts. First one came from Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah, Suzuki got him a heater, man. Inner part of the plate, he got those hands in tight, the barrel to it, and then right behind him, Carson Kelly. How about top shelf and blows one out of here? Cubs came down into the 5th inning, down 1-0, back-to-back homers, and that's where we sit right now. Cubs up 2-1.
San Diego got a scoreless inning out of Adrian Morejon, who stranded a runner at third, and now Mason Miller on the postseason stage for the first time against Suzuki as he buries a slider. 1-1. Here's the hardest throwing pitcher in baseball, Ben. And by the way, his best pitch is a slider.
That's not fair, is it? For a guy that averages 101 with his fastball, and his best pitch is a slider. But he has been dominant. Look at the K rate, 44%. Big league average, 22%.
3 straight sliders. And he's ahead of Suzuki, 1-2.
We saw Mason Miller this year through 9 pitches, an immaculate inning, punched out the side on 9 straight sliders.
Did that September the 3rd against the Orioles. And a slider there is fouled away by Suzuki. How do you deal with this, Jess? You know 103 might be coming, and you've seen slider, 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 slider.
Well, and that's the whole thing, is you're trying to be as late as possible, but knowing exactly what could come with the velocity, 102, 103 miles an hour, but it's the slider you're actually protecting against because that's the best pitch.
Nobody's touched him for 20 straight appearances, Miller. And there's a fastball. I mean, that's insane.
103.
What do you do with that?
Here's what you do off Mason Miller. You pick one or the other. I don't think as a hitter you can cover both 102, 103 miles an hour and a slider too. So you almost try to sit on one pitch and hope out of the 3 that you get or 4 or 5, maybe he makes a mistake with the pitch you're looking for.
One to Carson Kelly. Let's go back down to Jesse.
Yeah, guys, I talked to a Cub the other day about the prospects of facing Mason Miller in the shadows, and he gave me a one-word response. Oof. Yeah. That's it. Just oof. And I understood what he meant.
Yeah, sometimes it's as simple as oof, Jesse. That's an oof swing from Kelly at 102.
And it's not just 102 or 103. It's on the edge, too, it feels like.
Mason Miller, an out-of-nowhere prospect, has become the hardest thrower in baseball, added by A.J. Preller at the deadline. Perry's a slider. Kelly has no shot. There's strike 2.
See how much he missed it by, though? I mean...
That's looking heater and getting the slider is what that is. That's all it is.
I mean, hitters hit 108 against the slider.
And again, with the shade being around home plate, you just can't see the spin like you'd like to.
2 strikes to Kelly. Have a seat. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miller. The Padres have punched out 11. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sport's commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, in the league. To learn more, please visit MLBtogether.com. Two down for PCA. Cubs by 1 here in the 7th. And Armstrong misses 102. Mason Miller, drafted in 2021 by the then Oakland Athletics, who did used to play there, out of Waynesburg University and Gardner-Webb. Not the first 2 choices you'd expect for a guy who throws 101. Miller, who was pitching at Waynesburg in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, couldn't figure out why he was getting so fatigued. Got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, not enabled him to make changes to his body and his routine, and ended up as this incredible flamethrower. Played a year in D1 at Gardner-Webb. These took him in the 3rd round in 2021. Padres paid a big price to get him at the deadline. And right now they're pretty happy they did. That's the most unhittable stuff of the game from Mason Miller. 3 straight strikeouts.
I'll tell you, that's a big-time block, too, by Fermin, who collects the out. Mason Miller doing his thing. This is what he does, folks. It is a smoke show when he comes in. And, oh, by the way, he can spin it, too. Punches out the side. Cubs up 2-1.
The Padres and Brewers, 2 teams that have never won the World Series. Chicago with a 2-1 lead turns to Andrew Kittredge here in the 8th inning.
Valencia was outstanding. Pomeranz, and now the Cubs will turn to their 3rd reliever of the day in the way of Andrew Kittredge, making his 55th appearance of the year. Sinker slider guy. A lot of 2-seamers. He loves that pitch right there to the inside part of the plate. Loves the speed the bats up to get to probably his best pitch, which is that slider down the way to right-handers.
The Cubs didn't make huge moves at the deadline, but Kittredge has turned out to be quite the coup, getting him a deadline day deal, or the day before from the Orioles. It was also the easiest travel of anybody at the deadline. The Orioles flew to Chicago for an off day. Kittredge found out the night before all he had to do was change hotels. And he's been terrific. His 1-2 to Fermin is popped out of play.
Hitters talk about the deception he's got too, and you'll see it. It almost looks like he's out in the backyard getting ready to play some catch. It's kind of slow little motion, and that turn that he's got basically facing towards that 3rd base dugout, it pops out of his glove. So you get that sinker Ben was just talking about, runs into righties. It has kind of that extra life because of this deception he does with his windup.
There's the deliberation, and a pitch popped out of play by Fermin. It does just kind of look like Uncle Andrew just having a catch in the back.
Just out playing catch with the boys.
The beard helps too. It's just like, want to go out back and just throw a ball around.
Kittredge always had a slow heartbeat, man.
Buries that sinker to Fermin, over to Matt Shaw, and the leadoff man retired in the 8th. 9 straight outs for the Cubs bullpen.
This is the batter, Fernando Tatis Jr. It's been a quiet bat. It's been a quiet bat for a lot of the Padres hitters, but this is the guy you circle. What he did in the postseason last year, big reason why the Padres won the games they did, and he has got to make an adjustment in this game if they want to get back into it.
His last 2 at-bats were 1-pitch outs.
Ball away.
He takes ball 1. Remember, Tatis last season went absolutely nuts in the postseason. He's got 6 homers in 13 career playoff games.
Ball in.
And he takes ball 2. He's 26 years old, Fernando Tatis Jr. Going into his own with San Diego. Like Schultz said, he's really starting to find his voice in the clubhouse. A couple of years removed from missing a full season because of injuries, a PED suspension. He's matured since then. His game has rounded around into one of the best all-around players in the league. And he takes a backdoor slider right to the edge for strike 2.
I don't know if this clips the zone, and Tatis is upset about it. It gets dropped too, which adds to it, but that pitch looked like it was just off the plate in.
Well, Tatis, and you talked about it, Jess, he's been letting that ball travel a little bit more lately. As a pitcher, when I see you letting that ball travel, I'm working you to the inside part of the plate. And everything, two-seamer and the slider's been front door so far.
He goes to the back door and strikes him out. Drops the slider over the outside corner. 2 down in the 8th.
How about he comes in the front door to get him with a slider pitch before this and then gets it away. Normally this would be a mistake pitch. Comes back with it, top of the zone, just freezes the bat of Tatis.
I'm not sure that's exactly where Kittredge wanted it. Probably wanted it a little more down and away, but because he did so much work on the inside part of the plate, it works.
Well, Tatis had put 3 consecutive pitches in play. Then he takes 5 straight from Kittredge. And his passiveness met by Kittredge's aggressiveness. Cub bullpen dominant. Arise shows back. Takes inside. Luis Arise finished the regular season on a 15-game hit streak. He is 0 for 3 with a rare K. 2-1 Chicago with 4 outs to go. Arise drives one into center. Crow Armstrong's there. Andrew Kittredge keeps the good times going. The Cub bullpen spotless in game 1. Nobody does Cup snakes like Wrigley. And the Cubs fans have had a lot to enjoy today. Their pitching has been magnificent. Boyd, Palencia, Pomeranz, Kittredge. 2-1 lead for Chicago. Now the former Cub, Jeremiah Estrada, takes over in the 8th.
Yeah, Estrada's had himself a nice year. 30 holes. That leads the Padres. Tied for 5th in the National League.
He gives up a line drive base hit to Dansby Swanson. The 6th hit for Chicago, and Swanson with his first.
Down here at the bottom of the order, too. This is the length that the Cubs have. Continuing to get hits and just finding that fastball. Gets the 4-seam, plops it into left field. Continuing to move this order. Matt Shaw in the 9-hole and then back up to the top.
You haven't seen a stolen base try yet today. Swanson 20 out of 23 for a Cubs team that loves to run. Matt Shaw, who does not have a sacrifice bunt this year, squares around on ball 1.
Cubs would love to pick him up a little insurance run here late in the ball game.
With the insurance for Brad Keller, it appears, with the heart of the Padre order, Machado, Merrill, and Bogarts due up in the 9th. Again, Shaw squares, and that's a strike called.
Haven't seen that one called very often today.
Eric Bacchus a little bit expansive.
Different story next year. ABS is coming.
It might be a helmet tap.
Might be a little hat tapper.
Shaw squares again, pulls back ball 2. Did he offer at the 1-0 pitch?
Well, let's take a look at it.
No. I mean, like a psych, bring it back.
2-1 to Shaw. Bunt stays on. Bunt laid down. Pretty good time for Matt Shaw's first career sack bunt as a big leaguer.
That's so good, too. Is Manny Machado over at third? You don't want to bunt it down the third base line because the way Manny Machado plays third base, he's looking right in your face. He'll get the out over at second base. Matt Shaw just punches it towards first base where Luis Arise is. Well done right there.
Well, how many of these two we'll see failed attempts all throughout the postseason, guys who have never done it. So being able to execute when you haven't done all season long, guys, is not easy. Great execution from Shaw.
Yeah, and I tell you what the Cubs have been able to do this year, man. We talked about the home runs and the runs per game, but they hit really well with runners in scoring position. They 6th in baseball this year.
Wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Not only was that Matt Shaw's first sacrifice bunt in the big leagues, guys, the former first rounder laid down his first sacrifice bunt since he was a Maryland Terrapin in college in 2021. Probably the exact same stakes for the Terps in the Big Ten, I imagine.
Looks like they're going to walk Michael Busch.
The Cubs will set up a righty-righty with Nico Horner. That's the first walk for Chicago today as Busch reaches base for a second time. And here is Nico Horner. Cub fan favorite, 2 for 3 today. Now it's a bit of a dangerous game as Estrada throws the strike. Facing Nico Horner with runners in scoring position. Only Bo Bichette of the AL East champion Blue Jays had a higher average in these spots. Horner with a rare swing and a miss.
Another thing the Cubs have done really well in these types of situations this year, they don't ground into many double plays. The fewest grounded into double plays out of any team in baseball this year. Only 72 times they hit into a double play.
Swanson and Busch the runners on 0-2. And the dirt gets away from Vermeer. Swanson to third, Busch to second. As the Cubs read the dirt ball well for a wild pitch.
Yeah, and Freddie Fermin had been really good today. He had blocked up a lot of balls in the dirt. This ball just kind of gets away from him. Looked like a breaking ball. There's a good look at that breaking ball. But see, it's overcooked right there. And you see how he never could square his shoulders as a catcher. You want to be able to move quickly and be able to square your shoulders up to home plate where the ball hits your chest and lays in front. He never got turned all the way around, but that was a tough chance.
Infield in 1-2. Hunter center field. Merrill from shallow center. Swanson back to the bag at third. Merrill's throw home off the mound. Cubs extend the lead on a sacrifice fly from Horner, and it's 3-1 Chicago.
That's what you call understanding the situation. You can see Nico Horner, he wasn't going to do a whole lot to this. He knew the runner was at third base, less than 2 out. He just wanted to shorten his swing and just put a ball in play. See that little short swing? He just jabbed at it. That's understanding the situation. Shoves it deep enough to push home. Dansby Swanson. Cubs up 3-1 now. Not trying to do too much.
Two-strike deliveries from Horner today. And Mike Schilt will go get Wandy Peralta with the Padres on the ropes.
Horner, best batting average, runners in scoring position for a reason. Takes a slider, pitch one, then gets the splitter, swing and miss. Now this is the key right here. Once the splitter is in the dirt and it's away, now you eliminate that pitch. Nico knows even 2 strikes, what's he gonna get? Goes back to the slider. Again, he's got the average and the consistency because he understands 3/4 swing with 2 strikes. He knew what he was getting, got enough to get another run in for the Cubs.
Now a 3-1 lead as Mike Schilt turns to his 4th reliever of the day, Wandy Peralta. 2 outs. Michael Busch at second and Ian Happ batting.
Yeah, Peralta 71 appearances this year. He has certainly been busy. Sinking fastball leads the way. And it's a changeup slider. After that, he'll throw you an occasional 4-seamer, but he loves that 2-seamer.
Turnaround Happer was 0 for 3. I want to turn Happer around because he has struggled a bit against lefties this year. OPS is 103 points lower versus left-handers. Well, the Cubs with a couple of long balls for the first 2 runs. And a base hit, a sac bunt, an intentional walk, a wild pitch, and a sac fly for the 3rd. The bullpen's been perfect.
Ball in.
The back half of what I just said sounds like your typical Padres win. But this is what the Cubs do. They have that power element in addition to the contact they make, in addition to the arms they've developed and acquired over the year. They are 3 outs away from a Game 1 win. As Happ knocks a changeup out of play.
Well, it just goes to show you how many different ways the Cubs can beat you. They can beat you with the long ball. They can beat you with the defense.
Cheers, guys.
We talked a lot about the Padres bullpen, but I tell you what, the Cubs bullpen has been outstanding to this point. It's not like it's a bad bullpen. I mean, look, it's top 10 in baseball.
That takes ball 3. Strikes out. A changeup by Peralta, the signature pitch, ends the inning. Cubs get one more. Part of the order for San Diego coming up. Padres need 2. San Diego Padres have trailed into the 9th inning 36 times in their postseason history. They're 0 for the first 35. And Mike Shilt's team will need at least 2 against Brad Keller, with Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, and Xander Bogaerts, the heart of the San Diego order, due up in the 9th. And Machado takes a strike from Brad Keller, who after 234 games, 117 starts, and nearly 800 innings in the regular season, is making his postseason debut.
Yeah, he's had a really good year, too. 2.07 ERA, 36 1/3 he has worked. How about opponents hitting just 171 off Keller? Good 4-seam fastball. It's going to average 97. A little slider and sweeper as well.
A year ago, guys, Brad Keller was cut from the team with the most losses in Major League history, the Chicago White Sox. After some tweaks and a whole lot more velocity, he's trying to close a postseason game on the north side of town.
What's Keller got? Just 1 save all year long? Three saves?
He just missed with a low fastball to Machado. Machado has walked today. And he is still alive because of that airtight pitch at the knees. A 2-2 from Keller. A little ground ball to short. Swanson's been flawless. He still is. Cubs bullpen today. Valencia perfect through an inning and 2/3. Pomeranz perfect in the 7th. Kittredge perfect in the 8th. Fly ball to center. Jackson Merrill. Crow Armstrong in front of the ivy for out number 2.
He made this look easier than it was, and we've talked a lot about the sun, but it's also understanding where the ivy, the wall, everything that's coming. This ball continues to carry. Watch PCA just go back and fight that sun. I mean, he's looking right into it. It's the second out of the inning.
Plus are ready to scream "Go Cubs Go" at the top of their lungs here. And we got a mess on our hands right now as Keller stepped off. The pitch clock did not reset, and then Xander Bogaerts just got called for an automatic strike. How can that happen? Mike Shilt's getting an explanation from Eric Backus. Remember, a pitcher can't step off with nobody on base unless a catcher comes out for a mound visit. You don't have a disengagement with nobody on base. So Bogaerts was confused, and the 6 umpires will converge in front of the plate.
Did Keller step off? Okay, you see Keller left. Yeah, so he steps off. When he stepped off, Bogaerts stepped out.
Now, he stepped off, and it looked like he asked for a reset. But again, there is no pitch clock reset with nobody on base. So Eric Backus never grants him the reset. Looked like he said something to Bogaerts right there to get back in.
Objection. The batter will be charged a timeout, not a strike. 0-0.
All right. Todd Titchener, the crew chief, confirming that common sense still exists.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bogaerts is charged with his timeout. No automatic strike one. And there's ball one. Cubs were last in the postseason in 2020 in front of no fans. Strike one to Bogaerts. Chicago was swept by the Marlins in the wild card series that year. 2018, they lost the wild card game at Wrigley to Colorado. The last Cub win in the postseason, October 18th, 2017 against the Dodgers. A game started by Jake Arrieta. Hoping to reclaim some of that magic. Jake Arrieta threw out the first pitch today. Our 5 Cub pitchers have pitched like vintage Jake Arrieta. 2-2. Just got it.
As late as you can possibly swing. I mean, this was no. Okay, yes.
That's what you call an emergency hack. Rear end going toward the third base dugout and just emergency hacks at it. But that's what you have to do sometimes when you get food to extend the at bat. What you call jelly legging it.
2-2 again. Maybe a little more solid jelly in the legs there, but Bogaerts in full parachute mode. You'll see a 7th pitch. He's the only Padre to drive in a run today. His RBI double in the second made it 1-0. It's been all Cubs since. 7th pitch from Keller. Striking it out looking. Keller closes the door, and the Cubs claim the opener. Cubs relievers allow 0 Padres base runners. Palencia, Pomeranz, Kittredge, and Keller after Matthew Boyd got the first 13 outs. And for the first time in 8 years, the Chicago Cubs are postseason winners.
How about the adjustments from the offense? I mean, they were getting dealt from Nick Pivetta, and that fastball elevated in the 5th inning, making those adjustments, the back-to-back home runs, the difference in this game.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's not very often you punch out 13 times in a ball game and you don't get not even 1 base hit with a runner in scoring position and you win the ball game. That's what the Cubs do, and I'm going to give the credit to the Cubs pitching staff. That's what won this ball game. Matthew Boyd got himself in a big jam in the 2nd inning, 1 run in, runner at third base, nobody out. He held the line, and then again in the 4th inning, he holds the line again with 1 out, runners on 1st and 3rd, and he navigates through that one. And of course, Cubs bullpen 4 2/3 shutout baseball along the way. To me, that was a difference in the ball game.
Carson Kelly caught all those relievers, hit the game-winning home run, and the Chicago Kid is with Jesse.
All right, Carson, take us back to the 5th inning. What's that feeling like as you're rounding the bases, putting your team ahead in a playoff game?
Oh, man, there's no better feeling than it. You know, Sam put a great at-bat. They at-bat before, and just getting a chance to go up there and, you know, put a good swing on a good pitch. And, pretty cool to see it go over the fence.
Yeah, Nick Pivetta was beating you guys at the top of the zone. You beat him in that moment. Was there an adjustment made, or were you just ready to hit that high fastball?
Yeah, he was attacking with a lot of fastballs, and I kept swinging underneath. The guys were swinging a little bit underneath it with that carry, so make it a little adjustment, go right to it, and put a good swing on it.
And it was about that time that Craig Counsell brought in Daniel Palencia. What's it like catching him at 100 with the shadows coming over home plate?
And you're playing hockey goalie half the time, but our guys did a tremendous job. We played great defense. The bullpen came in and locked it down, and it feels really good to have this win.
First home win in a long time for a Cub team at Wrigley Field. What's the feeling like in the vibe?
I mean, right now you see it's still going. It's pretty awesome, pretty special to play here, and the support that they give us, and let's do it again tomorrow.
Congrats, Carson.
Thank you.
Back to you, Kevin.
Jesse, that is a feeling I imagine Carson Kelly's been wanting to savor for a long, long time. His postseason debut, the team he grew up rooting for, and he puts them ahead 1-0 in the best-of-3 wild card series. The Cubs can't close it out tomorrow. 3 Eastern, 2 Central here on ABC. Let's go back down to Jesse.
All right, have Nico Horner here. Big insurance run in that 8th inning. Once you get down 2 strikes, what's your strategy at that point?
Yeah, it was huge. The runner was able to get to third, less than 2 outs, be able to put something in the air there. That felt great to give us some insurance.
Playing behind Boyd early on. He made one little mistake to Bogarts, but other than that, looked pretty good. What was it like from second base?
Yeah, he looked great. He's had such an incredible year, and those plays Dansby made to keep us in that game were really huge for the momentum of this game, and just a really nice all-around win.
As you take the field and then come off the field in the 9th inning, describe the feeling as a baseball player at Wrigley in a post game.
Yeah, we're very spoiled here. It's no secret. These are incredible fans. So I've been here for a little while now, and to be able to play playoff baseball in front of them is an incredible feeling. So hopefully we got a lot more.
And it's so incredible that tomorrow's an elimination game. You guys can wrap up the series that quickly.
Yeah, one day at a time. I know this wild card series is really fast, so have a good sleep tonight and back at it.
Thanks, Nico.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Back to Kevin.
Jesse, thank you. Yeah, the Padres will turn to Dylan Cease. He'll need to pitch well in all likelihood to save San Diego's season and get a Game 3. Cub starter to be determined. A brilliant day to start Game 1 of the wild card series. The Padres scored first. The Cubs scored last. Chicago wins it 3-1 in Game 1. For Jessica Mendoza, Ben McDonald, Jesse Rogers, our outstanding crew of Kevin Brown. So long from Wrigley Field. Let's get you to Kevin Connors in the studio.
God bless you. Double prop. I'm on this sound fairly no. DJ Softy man. I'm on you be. Idiot no. Love what you give to me. It's sweet past you got cane. I not go like you dey hide me past cocaine. See the way she just the wine. She the one pass up there no do. I swear to God, now she did do me do. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you go make me go insane. Comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. My baby too fine, no, now so she dey beautiful. Anytime I see her face, you, I go just tell a fool. Now because of you, my guys them they call me big fool. Big fool, man. See the way she soft to you, she be like foo. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you gon' make me go insane. Comforting, yeah. Hey, yeah. Comfort your mama no more so. Hey, yeah. Comforting, reload, give me. I'm on this song, yeah. Double pull on the missy. DJ Safety, man. I see you. I'm on this song, yeah.
Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом, присутствие кончается, и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом, сенатору скабрезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор, а мертвеца к другому безобразию с крыши ощущений несет таксомотор. Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, и в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба,